What's up, everybody? It is your boy Toxic Boyo, and we're here today to talk about Marvel's Wolverine for the first time in a long time, I think. I don't think I've really talked about this game on this channel in close to 4 years. Um, but it's a game that a lot of us are just astonished that is even still coming out, with Insomniac getting hit with that huge ransomware attack in late 2023. It just didn't seem like they would still be moving forward with it because they didn't say anything about it after that build got leaked. But here we are. It's got a release window for fall this year, and I think a lot of people are still really optimistic about it. Now, I want to talk about this game from a bit of a cautious, optimistic point of view, because yes, I'm looking forward to the game, even as someone who's not necessarily a Wolverine fan, but I have played the 3 Marvel games that Insomniac has made thus far, all of them being Spider-Man games. So I kind of want to talk about what we can or can't kind of copy from those games, what should be learned from the last few games that they've made, what should or should not be included here to make Wolverine the best game that it can be. One, I don't want this game to be like heavily reliant on traversal and stealth. A little bit of stealth is fine because there is X-Force, Wolverine, where he wore a black and gray suit and he was a bit more self-focused. But the reason that I don't want it to be like a Predator type of stealth is because I don't want it to feel like we're emulating Spider-Man still. Especially in Spider-Man 2, stealth is a huge part of what you're doing. When you're infiltrating these bases, trying to take down all of Kraven's forts and stuff like that. And something that was picked up from Spider-Man Miles Morales is that you can stealth the entire encounter. And that does feel very rewarding when you are a character like Spider-Man, especially when you're Miles, someone who can turn invisible. But I mean, Spider-Man is sticky. He can, he can maneuver on the ceiling and on walls and stuff like that. He doesn't have to make himself known in order to clear out a room. Batman is that same way. He can utilize his environment in a lot of interesting ways. Batman Arkham Knight is a lot of fun when you're in Predator mode and you're just hunting these guys down while trying to avoid open combat. That's where there's stealth challenges, Wolverine, he's not really like that. His body is more or less indestructible. He can withstand most attacks unless they are designed specifically to take him out. So I don't necessarily feel as though they need to approach it that same way. We can have stealth that's similar to something like Ghost of Yotei or something, where you can utilize your environment. You can hide in tall grass or something like that. But eventually you are going to have to get into open combat. You would utilize the stealth to dwindle the numbers down rather than using it to get through an entire encounter. I think that would work a lot better. Another thing, reversal. This is also something that ties into another point that I had a long time ago, is that I don't necessarily want this game to be open world. I don't think that Wolverine has an interesting enough traversal system baked into his character or his kit to make an open world really all that fun to be a part of. Batman has the Batmobile and he can glide around and stuff like that. That's what makes the Arkham Knight open world of the 3 Gotham Islands fun to interact with. Spider-Man can swing and now he can glide, which is something that Spider-Man's been able to do in the comics before. It is still intrinsic to the character. It works, and it makes, traversing New York City a lot of fun. Most other open world games, though, they give you a horse or a car or a motorcycle or something, And the last thing that I would want is for Wolverine to be bogged down with bad driving controls. There can be vehicle sections, like Uncharted, but I don't want an open world. We can have big sandbox environments. It can be level based, still have large interactive and wide-spanning environments and sandboxes like Devil May Cry 5, because that's an action hack and slash game. This is also an action hack and slash game. I just don't want it to be bogged down with unnecessary mechanics. Wolverine climbing a wall is fine if you're not doing a whole lot of it. No, but I don't want that to be the main way that I get around Japan, Madripoor, wherever else the game takes place, you know what I mean? Pardon the interruption, it's your boy Toxic Boyo, and I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know about the Toxic Touch Productions Patreon. I'm not currently monetized on YouTube, but I still want to bring you the best content that I possibly can. I want to make those videos that you love, and I want them to be the best that they can be. But I need a little help. That's where you guys come in. If you want to support me directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/ToxicTouchProductions or click the link in the description or the pinned comment. For even just $5 a month, you can get your name included in the credits at the end of the video, gain access to exclusive channels on the Discord, and you get specialized merch at no extra cost. It only gets better as the tiers go higher. Go check it out. Thanks for listening and thanks for supporting my dreams. Now let's get back to the video. The next thing, we've already seen a little bit of this. I don't want it to be like super like high-techified. You know, one thing that people have complained about with Insomniac Spider-Man is they're kind of sick of gadget Spider-Man, which I go back and forth on. I think that the gadgets, as far as the gameplay in that game, make it a lot more fun. But as far as the aesthetic of like everybody having a super high-tech suit, Raven's goons using high-tech weapons and wearing all this like super advanced armor and stuff like that, having this cutting-edge cloaking technology that they use, that kind of takes away from Kraven as being like this ultimate big game hunter. You know, it does kind of detract from his image and his characterization a little bit, and that's something that I can completely agree with. You wouldn't want Sabretooth to have that, right? So I think that for certain characters, like say that you fight Deadpool in this game, I think that would be really sick. But if you fight Deadpool, I think he can have tech and gadgets and stuff because he has a teleportation belt in the comic. But if you're fighting Sabretooth or you're fighting, say, Daken, I wouldn't want that. Omega Red can have it. You know, I don't really want it for Mystique. I don't think it's necessary. Like, I think that a balance there is really important. And I think that Spider-Man 2 does more or less strike that balance, because it's not like they techified the Lizard or Venom. It's just Kraven. And it is, to a degree, that's not exactly fun. You know, but it's less egregious than in the first game where they super techified Electro and Shocker. He's got like this weird helmet. Or like, who else is in that game? Or like the Rhino, you know? Like why does the Rhino have glowing eyes? And like that's definitely like Ultimate Spider-Man inspired, but that's neither here nor there. I just don't want a super tech-heavy aesthetic like we do have in the Spider-Man game. If there's Sentinels like we've already seen, that's one thing, but you know, it doesn't need to transfer to every little thing in the game. Next thing is I do want there to be a variety of suits like there have been in the Spider-Man games. Like obviously, you know, we all want to wear the Deadpool and Wolverine suit. We want the jacket from X-Men Origins. We want an Old Man Logan skin. We want maybe X-Men Evolution. We want Astonishing X-Men. We want the John Byrne brown and tan. We want the X-Force black and gray. We want all of that stuff, you know. But I don't want suit styles to come. Because as cool as suit styles are as a concept in Spider-Man 2, there's only 3 alternate suit styles that I ever wear in that game. 2 of them are for Peter, 1 is for Miles. For Miles, it's the Uptown Pride suit, where instead of black and gold, it's black and gray. Because I think that Miles just looks really good in dark colors like that. And for Peter, it's the Advanced Suit 2.0 in red and black, because I think Spider-Man looks damn good in red and black. And it's the, when I wear the classic black suit, I wear it with the purple highlights, like in the Ultimate Comics. But if suit styles weren't an option in the game, I wouldn't be upset. You know, that red and black suit style is the only thing that has me wearing the Advanced Suit 2.0. If it weren't there, I would probably just wear the Superior suit or I'd go back to wearing like the Last Stand suit or something. Like I'd find something else to wear. The Scarlet Spider 1 suit. I just don't care much for the suit styles. I think it took time away from more important things in development. And it's just not something that I see people even talk about when reviewing the game or discussing it, 2 years post-mortem. So I just think that it's better to not focus on the less important things. I would rather have just a variety of suits rather than like one suit gets 4 styles and then you have to craft all those styles. I don't want as much crafting in this game either. Spider-Man builds things. It makes sense. He made his web shooters. He made his suit. All this good stuff. Wolverine, not a builder, not a crafter, not a tinkerer, not a gadget guy. I don't want to have to craft suits. Let me do combat challenges or gameplay challenges otherwise to unlock suits. Like the X-Men Origins Wolverine game on 360 and PS3. You unlocked suits through challenges. Like you would fight an alternate version of yourself that was wearing the suit, and it would test your mastery of the mechanics and the combat system. And if you could defeat that version of Wolverine, you get that suit. It doesn't necessarily have to be something like that, but something more intrinsic. You could tie it to collectibles or tie it to like a certain type of finisher or something like that. Rather than having to just like run around, because that's one thing that I would hope comes with scaling back the concept of an open world is just less collectibles and less crafting and stuff like that. That's what I'm hoping for. Another thing that I think would make Wolverine a lot better is I don't want to play as anyone that does not have superpowers. I don't want any more MJ type sections. I don't necessarily mind playing as somebody other than Logan because it can be fun. Like playing as Venom briefly in Spider-Man 2 was a whole lot of fun because he's Venom. Playing as MJ in Spider-Man 2, even though they gave you a ranged option, still not fun. I don't want to be someone who does not have superpowers in a superhero game. If they came out with a brand new Batman Arkham game right now, would you really want to play as Commissioner Gordon? Just creeping around? Probably not. Would you want to play as I was gonna say as Alfred Pennyworth? That might be fun. But like you're playing a Superman game. Do you want to be Perry White? Probably not. It's just it's a waste of time. Now, if like Jean Grey is in the game and you want me to play as her, that's fine. If you want me to play as Scott Summers or Dakin or X-23, totally cool with that. I just don't want to play as like, I can't think of anybody because Logan doesn't really hang around with a whole lot of people that don't have powers. I don't want to play as Jean DeWolf. I don't know why I came up with her, but that's where we're at. It's something that is not necessarily always so bad in the moment, but when you go to replay these games, because like I have not played through Spider-Man 2 all the way in over a year, because I'll play far enough to get the black suit. That's pretty much it. And then I just do open world stuff where I'll go to my 100% save file and just play around in there, because I don't want to do more MJ stuff. It's hard to even get through the first one. You get to that point where you're in the zoo, but I mean, it's the only thing that separates you from getting the black suit, so I'll take it. I just don't want it to be here in this game. I don't want it to be in Spider-Man 3. I hope to God they don't do that anymore. Next up, there's gotta be something done with the boss fights. Like, I would say that the boss fights in Spider-Man 2 are the best in the trilogy with how they're structured, and them having health bars definitely helps. But I don't know, I do also find it limiting, because particularly in the fights against the Lizard, Kraven, and Venom, that the game really wants you to play a certain way. Wants you to use this gadget, the most advantages. It wants you to use this environmental asset because it'll give you the best advantages. Just let me play creatively based on the skills that I've been unlocking and the abilities that I feel like that would make me feel a lot better as a player than, I don't know, being told that the best way to play is this certain way. Like when you're playing Devil May Cry, especially when you're playing as Dante, you've got 4 guns and 4 swords, right? You're literally, like, the only thing the game tells you to do is win. Apart from that, you just play it the way that suits you best, and you figure it out in a way that makes you feel more empowered and makes you feel more in control. That's what I want out of Wolverine. That's just like and I guess that doesn't just apply to boss encounters. I want that to apply to all combat encounters, really. Just let me play in a way that suits my playstyle and my philosophy. And like, apart from that, just like superficial stuff. Like, I want dismemberment. Obviously, this is an M-rated Wolverine game. I want good dismemberment. I want to like stab somebody, hoist them up, and like tear them in half. You know what I mean? In the game, okay. I just think that, you know, that kind of stuff will go a long way. There's obviously characters that I want to see. I would love to fight the Hulk in this game. I'd love to see Deadpool. I'd love to see Cyclops. I want to see Mr. Sinister. I want to see Sabretooth, Omega Red. Actually, they already confirmed Omega Red, so that's good. You know, I said a long time ago I wanted to see Mystique. They confirmed her too. Things are looking good for me as far as a will-be fan of this game. But yeah, I just think that people have a more largely negative opinion towards Insomniac than they did, you know, 5 or 6 years ago. And a lot of it is earned. I think Brian Intihar has this obsession with proving people wrong. Now, I don't think Brian Intihar is involved with this part. I think that this might be like the Ratchet and Clank team, because they're not working on Ratchet and Clank. But I don't know. It just sometimes it can feel like they listen to fan feedback and then do the opposite of it. You know, so I would really like to see this game feel and operate differently from the other games in fundamental ways, because Spider-Man and Wolverine are as such fundamentally different characters. I think it's already a huge step in the right direction that this game is rated R. Rated R is rated M. So, I mean, that being in place already makes me feel a lot better. But in the comments, let me know what you think this game needs to keep or drop from previous Insomniac Marvel games in order to be the best game possible, or what features you're hoping to see that we've yet to have shown to us. Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below and educate me. And as always, for more videos from me, click like, click subscribe, and then click whatever video YouTube tells you to. See you later.